deflation in a free market, in a true free market, a market in which banking is private, in which there is no Federal Reserve, in which the currency is private, deflation in that context really means, what people mean by it is declining prices, that over time prices decline. Why is that a problem? That's the nature of things. As productivity increases, as people get better at making stuff, the price of the stuff goes down. And we can afford it. You can see it in computers today. Computer prices have declined for the last 30 years. In a sense, there's been deflation, price deflation in the computer industry. Is anybody worse off? Everybody's better off as a consequence. So deflation, that kind of deflation, the very fact of prices declining over time, which is the natural state of prices in a free market, is a good, healthy phenomenon. And I don't see what the problem is. There's nothing to be done about it. The only other type of deflation that people could imagine is kind of a collapse of credit. What would happen is, because of fractional reserve banking, which I support, I've done a video on this separately. What happens if banks stop lending money, and in a sense there's less money in the economy because banks have contracted credit and prices go down as a consequence of this credit contraction? I believe that in a free market that doesn't happen as a systemic phenomenon. Some banks might be contracting credit, other might be expanding credit. There's nothing systemic that would happen that would cause all the banks. So you wouldn't have that kind of deflationary impact. It would be something that would be constantly in flux. Now, what happens today when we talk about deflation? Today, you have this massive credit contraction. You're seeing it right now in the United States. These deflationary pressures where money leaves the system, the amount of money in the system is contracting because banks on a systemic scale are contracting the amount of loans that they are providing. And then you see real problems in companies finding customers, real problems finding more importantly, companies finding sources of financing. You see companies going bankrupt. You see people losing their jobs. You see prices going down. You see unemployment. All of that is horrible. This is what happened during the Great Depression. That is the kind of deflation that can only happen, in my view, with a central bank or with government playing around with the currency, government playing around with money. But if government leaves money alone, then that kind of systemic crisis cannot happen. So the problem is the Federal Reserve. The problem is when government, through the Treasury, tries to manipulate money. Get government out of money, and you get the destructive side of deflation out of the equation completely.